from the News Channel 5 network, this is MorningLine with Nick Barris.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us on MorningLine. Nick Barris here with you on a Tuesday. I hope you will join in the conversation this morning because we're going to talk about something very important to the city of Nashville. That is the fact, one, that we are about to have a new mayor. Of course, we have one newly elected and will be taking the seat on the 28th. And a lot of what was campaigned upon has to do with the budget here in the city of Nashville. The budget hole, the money, how we're going to get out of this mess, and why we're in this mess in the first place. And so the mayor, of course, doesn't do it all alone. He'll be working with the council. And this morning, we're glad to have with us, all right, two at-large members. Oh, yeah, they're powerful front row members of the council.
I didn't mean to laugh. Sorry about that.
Bob Mendes, good morning to you.
Good morning.
And
good to see you again.
The newbie here.
Yeah, the
so,
new
well, not
guy.
really.
Yeah.
Steve Glover. Good morning to you both, gentlemen. Thank you for coming on. I really do appreciate you coming on. I guess, time of transition. Would you say it's kind of exciting? In fact, the sense that there's going to be some change in transition, which do you think that's a good thing?
I don't think people mind change. I mean, people don't like surprises, but we had 70% of the electorate vote for the candidate who said there will be change. So yeah, there's going to be change coming. I think we're all interested to see where it's going to be. I think people don't like surprises, though.
All right, would you agree with that?
From my standpoint, yes, the people spoke, and they absolutely want change. They want us to look at things differently, and they want us to protect them. That's what I gathered. Of course, I had to keep running after Councilman Mendez won on August 1st. But
Right.
I had to throw that in there.
Sure. Well, you're there now. You're both there now. All right. So obviously, this new mayor will be in position before the next meeting. And the budget was what. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that the city needs to deal with right now. But would you say the budget, and certainly, the incoming mayor, that was a huge part to the budget and how we're going to get out of it and what we're going to do. And he differed a lot from Mayor Briley.
He did, and the budget is going to be a big deal. We've got, it's been in the media, the comptroller of the state of Tennessee has got a letter out to us demanding that we institute a cash management policy and wanting more information about how we run things. I really think that's going to dominate the first 60, 90 days of the new term.
The debt is what? Was it 41 million?
We wished it was 41 million.
How much is it? I mean, how much is it?
Well, it depends on which number you're really looking at.
It's in the billions.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you mean? All right, the billion. All right. Yeah. So what was that?
The budget is.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
There's the budget that got approved by the council. Mayor Briley's budget had $41 million worth of revenue from selling off assets.
Okay.
That is not there.
It seems very likely that at least 30 million of it will never happen. There's never been council support for it. I don't think there's council support now. And Mayor Cooper has said he's not going to pursue the sale. This is of the parking privatization.
The parking. Cooper said he wouldn't do that.
And so that 30 million worth of revenue isn't going to happen. And the comptroller of the state of Tennessee and everybody else should be interested to know, okay, where do you cover that $30 million from?
I guess that's what I meant. Now, in terms of, if you would just give it perspective, why is it, and for the general public maybe following this, and a lot of this is details you guys are up to speed with, maybe they're not. Why does the state pay attention to this? Why is it important, do you think, that we not be billions in debt?
Shall I answer this?
Just give that to folks. I think it's important to lay that out.
Here's why I believe the state is interested in it, is because we're operating outside of our own charter rules and the state constitution. We do not have a balanced budget.
Okay.
We could have dealt that, and if I may, congratulations, Councilman Mendez, Chair Mendez. He's going to be chairing Budget and Finance, and so he's got a very large job going forward. I hope I'm on that committee with him in order to, take this challenge, because and I think we would both agree, it is going to be a challenge. It's going to be difficult. We're going to have to make hard decisions. And the one thing I said throughout the entire process is, while he and I may differ on ideas, thoughts, how we fix things, I don't ever remember the time that we didn't have a respect for one another, and I'm grateful for that, because it is going to be tough. I mean, we have a deficit that we didn't deal with. We needed to deal with it, but we didn't. You can't keep kicking the can down the road, because unfortunately there's a sign that says dead end. And that's where we are right now. We've got to stop, and we've got to deal with the money, and we've got to fix it, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, the state of Tennessee controls all the finances of all the municipalities in the city, and if you get too far outside the guardrails, the state comes and tells you to get back into the middle of the road and follow the rules on finances. And you know, we're building budgets. I mean, this is stuff that a lot of us in the council have been saying for a few years. We're building budgets on selling one-time assets. It's the same thing as balancing your family budget by selling your boat, selling your stereo, selling your dog. You know,
if it's not long term.
It doesn't work in the long run.
Okay, and it's not to this point, but if nothing were to be done and the problems were to continue to escalate, the state has the power to come in and take control of their finances, doesn't it?
Sure, absolutely.
Now, they're not close to that point, and they've given you the notice on along those lines. All right, so when it comes to this, and you just mentioned the parking, and that's not going to happen. But I mean, you have one of two things you can do, or both probably. Okay, you're either going to cut, you have to find new revenue streams. That's always the way it is.
Right.
Cut a Before we get to those solutions and how you view that, what do you think got us into this pickle in the first place? And I know it wasn't sudden. It's built up, as you said, over time, kept kicking the can down. Where do you place the blame?
Well, and this is a place where Councilman Glover and I do disagree a little bit, and I'll jump in and try to go first here. We are deeply out of step with historical practices on setting a property tax rate, and like strongly out of place. And we've got the lowest tax rate in the state of Tennessee. We've got the lowest tax rate in the history of Metro, and the numbers would tell you that we're choking ourselves off from revenue. The only people not making money off this boom is the city of Nashville. There is another component. The other component is that investing in downtown has not been transparent over the last 10, 15 years, and that causes distrust about things. And so both parts play a role in it. And unfortunately, I think for the downtown part, it took us 10 or 15 years to get into this level of not being transparent, and it's going to be hard to snap fingers and make it go away in a couple of months.
He and I do disagree. I mean, we've got more revenue than we've ever had in our history. I don't think we've managed it properly. And this is where we have the respect for one another. You know, raising taxes is not the alternative in my mind until we sit down and analyze every penny we spend. And if we have to raise taxes, we need to go and sell it to the public. And when I say sell it, they need to make sure they understand exactly how we're going to use it. Now, state law also dictates how we do that and how it works, just like the school board. We give them X number of dollars, and then they go do what they want to do, because the state is very clear on what our role is and how we function with regards to the money. I don't think until we finish cutting what I'll call the excess spending, and until we actually grab every aspect of every penny we can save, I don't think raising taxes is the right way to do it. And that's right. That's where we disagree.
And just two quick points about that. One is the city has over the last several years cut $35 million worth of expenses. So there's no getting rid of extra paper clips and trimming fat around the edges.
There's not a ton of fat, in your opinion.
And the other thing that's important to understand is for where the mood of the city is, of all the incumbents that voted for a property tax increase, everybody won except for one. And of the incumbents that lost, 4 incumbents lost, 3 of them voted against the tax increase. So I know I respect Councilman Glover's position, but across the board, the council, people who were in favor of the tax increase won, people who were against the tax increase lost, and that's where the mood of the majority of the county is. If it takes, obviously people want to cut the fat, obviously people don't want to get overcharged for downtown, but at the end of the day, kids are going to school in trailers, and we can't get firefighters and police officers paid what they need to get paid, and that's not something where we've got time to study the heck out of it. If we need to fix it, we need to fix it.
This is going to be a good conversation. This is excellent. I'm learning so much. You guys are great.
Fun.
Listen, we'll take a break. When we come back, we do have the phones up here if you want to join in the conversation, 737-7587, or sit back like me and listen. We've got some other things we're going to touch on, obviously, as we make our way through this, including what some of the options are moving forward and what they think they'll be able to do with our new mayor. So we'll take a break. When we come back, more of our conversation with the two at-large members on the council, as well as taking some of your calls.